So, what an honor to actually have the opportunity to speak to the mayor of South Orange, the president of South Orange, Ms. Sheena Cullum, who is instrumental in bringing all this to all of us. So I just wanted to, I'm going to stop the screen here and I want to share my face and her face and just I want on behalf of all creative folks who have performed in that gazebo and back of places and all over the place and who have thank you for allowing us to perform in South Orange. Thank you for
We
giving us.
love having you.
Oh my, and I know you are super duper busy. And this is again, this is so incredible because with all the stuff going on with COVID-19 and just keeping our families safe, that she's taken the time to acknowledge one of the residents of South Orange who meant so much to us, who meant so much to our community. She meant so much to me. Sorry. She would come up at wow, can't even talk. She would come to me after performing under the gazebo, which was like almost like her favorite spot. It was like she had a, you could sit there and she would say, you're pretty good. You're pretty good. And just that family, she is a fixture. She was a fixture, and now she's, I guess, officially going to be a fixture, in South Orange. So, on behalf of all of us, thank you, Mayor Cullum. Um, and so, I have a few questions for you, related to our, I guess, the guest of honor and the event that's going to be happening on Saturday. Is we know that Lee Boswell May, affectionately known as Boz, was a lifelong resident of West Orange. West Orange, I'm sorry, was a lifelong resident. That's where I live. See, I'm all confused. A lifelong resident of South Orange. So, what's your earliest memory of Boz?
So it's pretty interesting. So I came to South Orange from Starkville, Mississippi. And, I was one of those people who was always a hall monitor and student government and stuff like that. So by the time I got to Seton Hall, like my first question was like, where's the city council meetings at? So I started going to, we have a board of trustees. I would go into the room in the building that's featured behind me, our former village hall. And Boz, Lee Boswell May, but we all call her Boz, would be at these meetings and she would be schooling the elected officials on the history and things that happened in the past. She was just an active voice. And so I would be sitting there in the back of the room and she would just go right up to that podium and she would educate them and people who were viewing. So she was a fixture very early on in my experience of coming to South Orange and learning in South Orange and living in South Orange. And I think that's an experience for most residents is that within 1 month of getting here, you'll know who Boz is pretty fast.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite memory of her or an experience with her?
You're gonna get me emotional now too. So I think it would probably be so in 2015 was when I first ran for village president, and I was the first female to hold this position in this truly beautiful village. And Boz was a great supporter. She came to my events. She gave me encouragement. So the night of my inauguration, just her words of kindness and excitement for me as a woman, as a younger woman. And she was that to me, is just somebody, folks who are like sunshine always, they bring warmth and joy just by being there and being a presence. And so that was an exciting night for me. And, she was there front and center.
No, and you, like her, are foundations. And in the midst of, we just finished Black History Month, and now we're in the midst of Women's History Month. How appropriate, how just divine timing to actually have a street named after her. You
Yeah,
know,
it's really interesting. So I have to give credit to Trustee Summer Jones, who is also a woman of color on our board of trustees. She was in the process of looking at a street naming, mainly for public safety reasons. It's an access road to our community pool in the middle of where arts and recreation happen in our community. And unfortunately, after Lee passed, it almost became immediately present to all of us, like, this is we're going to name this after her. This is a way to celebrate her. And there's a little bit of irony too, because Boz was also instrumental in the naming of the Kenny Graham tennis courts, after another prominent African American figure in our community who helped elevate tennis for kids who didn't have access to the private tennis clubs. And also, it's just so similar, the impact that she had and those that she advocated on behalf of, to be recognized in this community, and giving us the history, even when it's not a proud history. And so this celebration of her is very, very important. And you're right, it straddles. I'm almost glad there was a rain date, because it was
yeah.
meant for Black History Month, but now we're in Women's History Month. And Boz represented the exceptional nature of both groups, and ones that we can celebrate not just these 2 months, but every month of the year.
And now her history will live on, because people coming after her years from now in South Orange will say, well, where'd that name come from? Who is this person? And it's a wonderful tribute, and it's a wonderful testament to the community of South Orange, that it's not just, maybe infamous people, but famous people within the community who made an impact, on the lives of so many, and not just those who she got a chance to talk to, but those after her, that she's even was thinking about, how to encourage and inspire the next generation. So, just like her, you, I want to say thank you to you
Oh,
for
thank you.
just even considering this, taking the time out this afternoon in the middle of your busy schedule to highlight a resident who meant something to you, who meant something to so many of us in the arts community. So I'm going to give you the final word. If there's anything else that you'd like to say or share, the floor is yours.
Oh gosh. Well, Boz, you will forever be remembered in this community. A beautiful, exceptional soul, a mentor, somebody who loves South Orange so deeply. And to lose such a champion at already a difficult time, this is a way to celebrate life. And to the organizers of the event for the unveiling of the street name, that's where the excitement comes, because as much as we're going to hold back some tears for the loss of a loved one, is she would be looking down at us and telling us to listen to the music, dance to the music, have a good time, go out afterwards, have some drinks, get a cocktail, tell us stories of the history of this amazing community. Uh, Boz just would want everybody to celebrate life, and probably most importantly, to be good to each other. That's her lasting legacy, even more than just the love of the arts that she had and for live music, is that she valued kindness and the ability for people to care for one another, to show compassion towards one another. And for generations to come, when they go on this road, when they go visit, our community pool, I think that is what we celebrate, is love as her lasting legacy.
That's right. Thank you so much, Mayor Cullum. We will end with love. Enjoy your day, everyone. Have a great evening and enjoy the celebration. Bye-bye.
We miss you, Boz.
Thanks for everything you did.
So we were very good fun. So I just wanted to thank everyone for coming out today. And at this time, we wanted to name it in honor of Boz, Lee Boswell May, who was a resident at, again, I don't speak in a lot of, who was a resident in South Orange since birth. And so she passed away last year. And so we thought that this would be really befitting because of the fact that she was a resident in Street. We were looking to name it after a woman. And then we actually wanted to name it also after a woman of color. And so we actually named it after Lee Boswell May. After speaking to all of her friends, we ended up at Boz Way. And so that's how we got the name, because everyone affectionately called her either Lee or Boz. And so I actually want to turn it over to our mayor, Tina Cole, village president.
President Column. This is such a beautiful moment, and we have so many friends from Boston's history and the music community, and with our community coalition on race, where she was an advocate continuously for intentional integration in our community. Boz is someone who, it happens. It always happens. Boz is someone who has touched so many lives of so many people in South Orange and Maplewood. She was an institution. If you didn't know Boz, you missed out on perhaps one of the most beautiful women that I've ever met in my lifetime. Lifelong resident of South Orange. You would find her at every community event. You would find her at every charitable event in which we support each other. You would find her at every government meeting giving us the history of what happened prior to the leaders that are here today and prior to the residents who are here today. And
every key that all of us need.
Yeah. Amen. And so today, it is my hope that Boz, you are watching down on us, all of your friends, your loved ones, and the people who are viewing on social media, since we couldn't have everybody come, and know that we love you, and we will continue to honor your memory and your legacy. And I know that one takeaway is that you will be telling all of us to continue to care for one another, to continue to love one another, to show compassion, and take all the values that you brought to the South Orange and Maplewood community and make that your lasting legacy. So we love you, Boz. This is for you.
We're basically, it is as our mayor, our village president indicated, because of COVID, we can't have everybody come down here as we would have liked to, but we do have in the audience several people, many people, and I will try to name individuals who were very special to Boz, as she was very special to us. So there's a number of musicians who are here, people around town who are known from us. John Lee, Mike Rio, there's a bunch here, and they I think their lives were enriched because she was the number one fan. Her husband was a great bassist. We have two great bassists here. When she passed, it was very, very sad, but it's great to be surrounded by her friends and those who care. So.
I wanted to actually come in comments on Essex County. So, hi, this is a great occasion, and I'd like to thank the Board of Trustees for bestowing this honor on the rule of our community. I've been in South Orange a long time. I had the pleasure of serving on the board with many of you here for many years, and I currently am the clerk of the board of Essex County Freehold. Music is the lifeblood of all of us. It lifts our spirits. When we need to be lifted, it consoles us when we're sad. As you all know, our honorees lived and breathed every moment of their life to make sure that jazz stayed alive, to make sure that music was always in our community. He was a great ambassador of jazz. And I will keep it short and sweet because it's cold and you're not here to listen to me. So I do have something to present from the Essex County Board of Commissioners, sponsored by your Commissioner Freeholder, Shami Cooper. And I promised you that I was going to read every line, but I'm just going to read the last line. Be it resolved that the Essex County Board of Commissioners hereby commends the Township of South Orange Village for acknowledging the life and legacy of Lee Boswell May by naming a street in her memory and honor. And this will be presented to the family. Thank you.
Lee was a board member and a longtime member of our Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Observance Planning Committee and did amazing work. She was always there for the fundraising for our annual dinner. When I told my husband where I was going today and that we were going to be unveiling this, he was so excited. He sat with her at many coalition events and said she is just such a delightful woman, full of stories, and that's how I think all the members of the Community Coalition on Race remember Lee, that we could hear the history, if it was about the schools, how the schools were when she was a child and how they've changed, and her commitment to the mission of racial integration and true inclusion was just deeply inspiring, and we miss her so much all the time. Absolutely.
Lee was the epitome, the embodiment of what it means to be a true daughter of a community. We can always count on her to speak positively about the history and about the efforts of this community. For those of us who are younger in the audience, she was the proverbial hype woman. She could really take whatever was going on and elevate it to another level. We will always remember Lee, and I thank the village trustees for now making it so that we also have a visible symbol to remember her by. Something that those who come after us will stop and say, Boz Way, who was that person? So we thank you for having her in history in ways that will never be forgotten. Thank you, thank you.
We miss you, Boz.
Thanks for everything you did.
it came shining through. Rain and storm, and the skies were blue. And oh, what a revelation to see. Someone was saying, I love you to me. Oh, one in a million. Chance of a lifetime. And life, it showed compassion. And seemed to me all stroke of love for you. Oh, one in a million you. I was a lonely man with empty arms to fill. Then I found a piece of happiness to call my own. And life is worth living again. For to love you to me is to live. Oh, one in a million. Chance of a lifetime. And life, it showed compassion. And seemed to me a stroke of love for you. Oh, one in a million you. Oh, one in a million. Chance of a lifetime. And life, it showed compassion. And seemed to me a stroke of love for you. Oh, one in a million you. Oh, one in a million
Jazz lover, but you were truly an Impact fan. You'll be with us forevermore.
I wanted to say that you are one in a million, and that's why we dedicated that song to you. That you're there with all of the greats, Sarah and Ella and Aretha, and enjoying life, enjoying the next life. So God bless you. Keep you.
All right, Boz. My Funny Valentine was for you, because I know that was one of the songs you like.
We'll see you on Lee Boswell Way.
Fly me to the moon and let me play amongst the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, you better kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. 'Cause you are all I long for, all I worship and I adore. In other words, please adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
I took a trip on a train and I thought about you. I passed a shadowy lane and I thought about you. 2 or 3 cars parked under the stars of winding stream, and the moon shining down on some little town. With each beam I had the same old dream. At every stop that we made, I thought about you. Then when I pulled down the shade, I really felt blue. I peeked through the crack, looked at the track, the one going back to you. And what did I do? I thought about you. Took trips on trains, and I thought about you. I passed shadowy lanes, and I thought about you. 2 or 3 cars parked under the stars, a winding stream, and the moon shining down on some little town. With each beam I had the same old dream. At every stop that we made, I thought about you. Yeah, baby. Then when I pulled down the shade, I really felt blue. I peeked through the crack, looked at the track, the one going back to you. And what did I do? I thought about you. Yeah, I thought about you.
My name is Lee Boswell May. I was born in Orange Memorial Hospital in Orange, New Jersey, September 24th, 1945. We all lived in the area from South Orange Avenue to maybe Roland Avenue, from Prospect to Ridgewood Road. That was the working class area of the town. It was so nice and perfect, and there was no tension racially, to the point where my parents became afraid for me that I wouldn't understand what it was like to be a person of color in the rest of the country. So they sent me to Alabama for a summer. I'll never forget this. I flew down, and when the plane landed, my uncle, who was in his full dress uniform, he was a major at the time, got on the plane and took me off and walked me through the terminal and showed me the 2 water fountains and the segregated bathrooms, and he walked me to a military car, and that's how we got back to his house. For him to be in uniform, that told me right there that it was a tense area, and I had to be on my guard. And then driving through town, you know how we have like rotary signs on Ku Klux Klan? So that was my introduction to segregation. That stayed in my mind, that the thought process was so different between racism and equality. It's just a whole different mindset. I got accepted to Pratt. I wanted to be an artist. No, you can't live in New York City. They sent me to Glassboro State College, and the dorms were segregated. My parents, instead of sending my photograph when they sent all the paperwork in and the check for the dorm and all that stuff, they didn't send my photograph, and because I was from South Orange, the school automatically assumed I was white. So I go to the dorm to check in, and the head of the dormitory says, "You can't stay here." And I couldn't believe it. You know, I was shocked. My parents sued the State Board of Education and won. And by Christmas break, all of the kids who were off campus, they had found dormitory rooms for. It made me a fighter, and I knew that that's what you have to do. You have to keep pushing and standing up and trying to make things better. My mother started a rescue squad in South Orange, and she started it because a neighbor had gotten sick. The ambulance came from Orange Memorial Hospital. The doctor looked at the ambulance. He said, "No, it's dirty. She can't get in there." So my mother and my aunt took sheets out of the closet and covered the back of the limousine, and that's how our neighbor went to the hospital. I was 7 years old at the time, and my mother said, "This is just wrong. This is just wrong. We got to do something about this." And the next thing I know, she was going down to Wells Cadillac and asking him to donate an ambulance. By 1953 or 4, it was a full squad. But, you know, that showed me, if you see a problem, fix it. Do whatever you have to do to fix it. I grew up in a household where jazz was king. I got a job with a company called AVP Limited, and they managed Hugh Masekela, Miriam Makeba, a lot of the black, Clifton Davis, a lot of the black actors and entertainers. I had to oversee the show about the people who were in the show. The next show I did was Miriam Makeba. Now, Miriam Makeba had been married to Hugh, but at the time that we were trying to do her show, which was in 72 or 73, I think, she was married to Stokely Carmichael. Richard Nixon was in office. Miriam was from South Africa. And when she left South Africa, she didn't have a South African passport. So other countries had given her passports, other African countries, and Cuba gave her a passport. So she was not liked by the United States government. And getting her into this country was a problem. We had already gotten Lincoln Center. The tickets were selling, things were going good. Couldn't get her in the country. We hired one of the best attorneys, and he said, I'm trying, but the United States Department does not want her in. Finally, the way we got her into the country, I called Harry Belafonte. He was doing a show in Las Vegas at the time. I told him what was going on. He said, bring her in through San Francisco. I'll meet her at the airport with flowers and the press. And that's what happened, and that's how we got her in. And she had a sellout concert February 14th, I think it was 1972. Empress of African Song, Miriam Makeba. I would go to the Improv at night to sing. And this is back in the day when Bette Midler was there. And Bette would open the show sometime. Now, Bette Midler's gonna open the show. You know, you're just like somebody off the street. Nobody wanted to follow her. And this particular night I had signed up to sing. And Bette opened the show, and I went back and I said, you can take my name off the list. And there's this guy sitting at the bar, and he said, don't let that girl scare you, go on out there and sing. So I thought about it, and I did. And I sang My Funny Valentine. And when I came off, the guy at the bar said, introduce himself. He said, I'm Earl May. I have a trio at the Playboy Club, and I'm looking for a singer. And he told me to come up to the club the following Tuesday and see what happens. So my brother was really into jazz. And I called my brother and I said, tell me, do you know the name Earl May? He said, yeah. He was with Billy Taylor and he named different people. He said, why? I said, well, he asked me to come to the Playboy Club and rehearse with his band. He said, get out of here. My brother got so excited. It's just amazing how loving and wonderful jazz musicians are. I love the people in jazz. They are the nicest, most loving people in jazz. They care about each other. They're concerned about each other. One of my favorite things is Giants of Jazz, because I'm the stage manager, and they greet, you know, they're coming into the sound check and they're greeting each other like they haven't seen each other in 30 years, and how you been, and how's the family? And then they're funny. They got the best stories in the world. And there was a group that was going to open with Hugh called the Jazz Crusaders. Now this is back in the early 70s. Jazz was not popular back then. People are literally running away from it. So I asked the band if they could take the jazz out of their name and just become the Crusaders. And they thought about it and they said, yeah. And that was how the Crusaders were born. My favorite memory is being with my husband. Whether he was on stage or off stage, just being with him, riding home from a gig, we would always, you know, hold hands, or just being in his company. He was the sweetest, kindest man, and never allowed me to do a dish. That's my favorite memory, all of my memories with him.
Good morning, Lee.
Good morning to you.
I am so excited to have you here as a board member with North Jersey Blues Alliance.
Yes.
And so tell me, like, what is this like for you here today?
Well, I enjoy this because I enjoy being around music and musicians. I was married to a musician for 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And who was that?
Earl May.
Okay.
The bass player, yeah.
Okay.
And a few days before he died, and he wasn't sick, he asked me that he made me promise I would keep the music playing.
Oh, wow.
And this is one of the ways I try to keep the music playing. I'm also involved with the production of Giants of Jazz in South Orange.
Okay.
And I'm the curator for Jazz in the Loft at SOPAC.
So you have any upcoming events with that, or?
Well, Giants of Jazz will be November, the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And then the Jazz in the Loft series starts in January.
Okay. Okay. So how long have you been involved with South Mountain International Blues Festival?
About 7 years, I think. And I've always loved the blues. And I've always been annoyed that people separated the blues from jazz because it's really all the same music. So, but I have jazz on one side of me and blues on the other side.
So you kind of bring them all together.
I try to.
Well, it seems like you're doing very well.
My husband always had at least 3 blues numbers in any set. And he was considered a jazz musician, but he felt jazz and blues should be together.
Okay, so as a board member, what is your role?
Well, we meet and we plan and we make suggestions for the lineup. Mike's really in charge of that, but I see he accepted one of my suggestions.
Okay. And would you like to share that?
Ty Stevens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which he will be here with us today.
Yeah, he's such a talent. I've known, he did Sophisticated Ladies with my husband.
Right. Oh, wow.
And he danced with Jules Jameson. So not only does he dance, he's a real entertainer. You know, he grabs the audience.
Exactly. Okay, well, thank you for meeting with us today, and I'm sure we both will enjoy the festival.
Oh, I know. It's going to be wonderful. I think this is going to be the best.
Weather, it's a gorgeous day.
Yes.
The weather's beautiful. What more could we ask for?
Right. 0 chance of rain. That's what the weather is.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, and I'm sure I'll see you around the festival.
Right.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you.
Boz.
Thanks for everything you did.
Once upon a time, thought you sure gonna be mine, and that's alright. I know you don't love me no more, that's alright. But every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. Don't be better. Our love is strong. Woke up that next morning and half my big world was gone. That's alright. I know you don't love me no more. That's alright. Every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight.
Going to Chicago, sorry, but I can't take you. I'm going to Chicago, and I'm sorry, but I can't take you. Ain't nothing in Chicago a movie won't be like you can do. You see me passing, baby, raise your window high. Yeah. You see me passing, baby, raise your window high. You see me coming, baby, hang your head down and cry. You are so mean and evil, do things you ought not do. Well, I said you're mean and evil, do things you ought not do. You got my friend, honey, I guess I'll have to hang on to you. Right now. Going to Chicago, sorry, but I can't take you. Yeah. I'm going to Chicago, and I'm sorry, but I can't take you. You got my fan, honey, I guess I'll have to hang on to you. You are so mean and evil, do things you ought not do. Well, yeah. Mean and evil, do things you ought not do. You got my friend, honey, guess I'll have to hang on to you. You got my friend, honey, I guess I'll have to hang on to you. You got my friend, honey, guess I'll have to hang on to you. Going to Chicago Blues.
lover, but you were truly an impact fan. You'll be with us forevermore.
I wanted to say that you are one in a million, and that's why we dedicated that song to you. That you're there with all of the greats, Sarah and Ella and Aretha, and enjoying life, enjoying the next life. So God bless you. Keep you.
All right, Boz. My Funny Valentine was for you, because I know that was one of the songs you like.
We'll see you on Lee Boswell Way.
We miss you, Boz.
Thanks for everything you did.